Heartbreaking, the emotion there from a mother who lost her son. Still with us, trial attorney and former prosecutor Imran Ansari in New York and criminal defense attorney April Preyar in Chicago. April, to you first on this, no-knock warrants. Is there a place for them, or has the time come to abolish them as this family and others are asking?
I don't think they should have ever been allowed. I mean, if you look at the statistics across the country, police officers die in these raids almost as often as civilians do. So it's a bad idea when you have anybody entering a home under the cover of darkness, like his mother said, when people are deep in a sleep and they're disoriented when they wake up and suddenly they see what they believe to be intruders. They have every right to defend themselves. So I don't think there's a place for it. And if there ever were a place for no-knock warrant, then you also have to do the surveillance on the front end. And so police don't get to have it both ways, where they can say, I can come into your home, I can use a key, I can make a silent entry, but I didn't have to do any work in advance to see if children were present, to see if the actual target that we're looking for is present in the home. I don't think in all these cases, you see that they dropped the ball on surveillance. I haven't heard anything about them surveilling this apartment complex before entering the home. The same with Breonna Taylor's. They dropped the ball on the surveillance there. So law enforcement can't have it both ways. So let's just completely do away with no-knock warrants altogether and keep both civilians and police officers safe.
Imran, your thoughts?
Yeah, so I respectfully disagree and agree to a certain extent. So I believe that no-knock warrants would be or should be used in the most finite or narrow of circumstances, and to support what was just said.
No, it looks like we lost Imran, but I can tell I know what he was about to say. I think he was going to agree with April on the surveillance part of it. An address isn't enough. Okay, yeah, you know where this person lives. Well, what if they're not in there? And what if their cousin is in there, like we saw here? Imran, am I doing a good job in articulating your view? You're back.
Okay, I hope I don't freeze because it was very important I finished that thought, but you're exactly right. The surveillance would be had. They would have to go before a judge with extensive information that would warrant, that no-knock warrant. Without that, it's a no-go. But I think that it has to be curtailed in terms of the amount of use this no-knock warrant is used, and there would be an extensive amount of information that would have to be put before the judge, and the judge would have to be just that, the judge of that information, whether or not that situation is appropriate for a no-knock warrant. And of course, it would be limited in certain circumstances where it's articulated that without that no-knock warrant, there's going to be danger, not only perhaps to the officers, but to others in the area or inside that residence. So curtail the use, narrow the use, and put a high burden on law enforcement when they go before the judge to get that warrant signed, to show a real good showing of why that no-knock warrant is warranted.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to step aside, take a break. Up next, we look ahead to